Welcome back to Wickerson Studios. This is the second video starting to think about going from AI Copilot into AI Stable Diffusion. If you're a good coder, you won't need Copilot, but I like to use it because it moves pretty fast. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into the AEC Tech 2022 Rhino Compute and jump to the 2 hour, 8 minute mark. At the end of that, 53 seconds, and you're going to want to watch this for about 20 minutes. And it'll take you through all the dependencies of Visual Studio Code, CPython 3.10 or higher, Flask, and you have to clone that repo. And as soon as you clone that repo, you will be able to open comparable scripts to here that won't have everything that I'm packaging away for you in my series, but you will have an app to start with, and that app will look very similar to what I pared this down to from the last video. And it will have all of these initial functions. It will have the hops Flask middleware example of from Flask, import gh hops servers, HS, because you're going to be using that in all your scripts, and import Rhino 3DM. I'm actually not going to use Rhino 3DM because I'm dealing with Rhino with NumPy, I'm only bringing in integers, floats, maybe some strings, and outputting booleans, and I keep all of my scripts incredibly simple so I can complicate things over in Grasshopper. You're going to realize how I do that. So if you want to use Rhino 3DM, go ahead. It'll make it run faster, sort of. But the best thing to do is get into the power of NumPy and Pandas and move your computational work in Visual Studio Code at lightning speed for arrays, nth dimensional arrays, so you can start to handle what are normally data trees over in Grasshopper. And we're going to notice a little interesting thing that happens in the sense that you can't go from array to data trees. You can, but it doesn't work in the Grasshopper interface, so we have to export by numbering the lists, and we will have to use entwine in Grasshopper, and you're going to see that in our scripts. The Flask app can be used for other stuff directly, so I have the apps, wrapper, root, help, and defining help as welcome to Grasshopper. It just has this little thing that defaults to. The first thing they do is they write a function class of hops component, and they give it a name, and you're going to see this puts in inputs and outputs and puts in a simple definition. You can run it. You do have to go to the package manager and bring in the hops component. I'm going to show you how this is used, but what we are talking about, we need to label. I just want to show you quickly how this works. If you have a script that's running over here and you want to check it, hit save, F5, run it in the window. You will get an IP address. You will copy that IP address, you will go over to hops component, you will type it in / and pick the component's name, binary multiplier bin mult. You've copied it, you paste it in, and now boom, you're functioning. You just need a hops number, which would be a float, and a hops number. There's two of them here. I don't usually write them this way. I write them this way. I actually write them so they look like this every time. This will be tabbed over. And the same thing goes for bringing down this data. And then I like to go into my output, and I like to have that down here, multiply, and I like to have this like that. That's how I like to see my functions. And then I like to see the function run. So now I can just go in and grab a couple of number sliders. This one can be an integer, and it won't work until you actually, let me grab another one. That will be 2.99, and we'll plug that in. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. Plug that in. As soon as you get all the inputs in, it will run. It will show you the speed at which it's running, and you can grab a panel and see what the output is. Now, this isn't going to tell you much as you start to build these, but that's a wonderful way to get things working. And the other thing I'd do is I would left click, I would take the call name, I would put that in on a right click to where hop stands, and I would change that name to that, and then I would say, how is this done? How is this written in? What do you have to do to write that in? And I'm going to go back here and copy this little script, which I like to use all the time. And I'm going to copy this script, copy, and I'm going to go back over because that's the script we're going to work up the making. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to take that hops component here. This one's here, and you're going to say instructions. Drag and drop a hops node into canvas. Take this on a right click, the name, and say that to get that running, you type in your IP address. It may be different from mine. You put in what the call is, and you put in what the call is here, complex. And there we go. We have the instructions to bring in a hops node because it will not work every time you load it in. And you might want to say what this function does over here. I'm going to use this to start providing some information. And this is just an example file, example hops node from Visual Studio Code, app.py. And that's going to be enough to start. And what we want to talk about is this entire program that we're writing. I'm going to bring that up to size 50 because this is the title. And we're going to say we are actually writing in here from AI Copilot to, actually we're going to do it here. No, we can do it here, to AI Stable Diffusion. And that's www.wickersonstudios.com, and this is basically Python for data analysis. And maybe not data analysis, we'll call it manipulation and mudging. I like that term because that's really what we're doing. And we're going to visualize NumPy instead of into Matplotlib. We're actually going to visualize that within Grasshopper. So what can we do with this to drive geometries afterwards? It's not too hard. You could, if you needed a visualization, if I jumped in here and just grab the tail end of this, let me see if I can grab it, grab the Rhino file. We'll just slam that off to the side, make it a little smaller, have our Grasshopper here. We can go to top view, and you can see how you can build a very simple script from this data. So let's just grab a point, a vector, create point. We want to create that point from to in the X direction. We want to drive a simple circle over here from that location to this radius. And there you go. You have something that's parametric now that as we change this, it has to move and it has to also move this way. So we made a little program for a circle. So data visualization, and I'll be doing this as we go and making it as creative as we can be. And what I want you to do is take some practice in this. You do not need to see this. You might want to title this now. And I would like to recommend that you do the same kind of title as what I had. So Python for data analysis, but we're going to give it a new name. We're going to call it, we're going to call this one save document as, we're going to call it from AI. Let's just go AI Copilot. Oops, something shabby. AI Copilot. Oops. AI Copilot to AI Stable Diffusion. And it's a strange name, but we're just going to give it its first Grasshopper script. I'm going to see how we can plug through this. So it's from AI to AI, from AI to AI Stable Diffusion. And yes, we're going to be using NumPy throughout the entire thing, but that's a nice little script that goes. We've got a visualization. You can tuck this one down here when you're done. It's the simplest thing to do, and what I want to leave it to you as we get into it is go through each one of these and see how sometimes they've used Rhino 3DM curves and try and get each one of these to run. And when you're done that, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to make a complex number script that might be interesting as we look at another one. But I want you to get in here. I'll do one more with you so you can practice alongside. So let's see, the next one is pretty easy. We've got an add component. It's written here, the add, the name, the nickname, the description. You can write these all out as you go. The best thing that I'm doing is let's do a new one here with Copilot, which is really recommended. Let's do write a let's do a subtract component here in hops format. So that one will default. You should see this. I can prime it with a add hops component. It's going to put in the word subtract. It's going to go name subtract, nickname sub, description. It will give you an icon if you set it up, but I don't use icons. So I'm just going to go right to inputs. You'll see that it will predict the numbers coming in, first and second number, because it's learned from what's before it. It will write a difference, and it will outcome a definition will be made. What I am going to do is stop running the script that's there, and it's brought in A as a float and B as a float. It will write return A minus B. We're ready to go. We save, and if this gets away on you, you can always hit clear. And so if this gets away, we're going to save, hit F5 and run it. We're going to get an IP address, and we're going to, before we copy that IP address, I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to copy it. And this is going to be another example, and this is going to be example hops component. This is going to be called subtract hops node from Visual Studio Code. We're going to hit that. We're going to get rid of this multiplier. It's going to default everything else. Won't know what to do. We might not want to build the same geometry because that's where it gets creative. We will have to change the name. Let's grab the IP address. Let's take our params hops component down here. Let's double click on it, put in the path, / take the name of what we want to do, subtract, add it in here, and hit OK. And we want to subtract 3. We want to subtract this one. And there we go. We have a number that's working. And I guess we could, just to be fun, grab this same data and take this as the radius and this as the x coordinate. And that should be enough. And that one should go to there. And we should be able to visualize these two components by pulling up our Rhino window. Come on, Rhino. Let me try and grab it. Having a little trouble. Let me pull it off to the side, see if I can grab Rhino. There it is. And we're just going to set that back to here. We're going to grab these two circles, which are there. And as we change around these points, you've got the second one that's going here. It had to kick on and go. And so as we move this slider and we move this slider, you can see that you have both working as a little program, a little data visualization. The other thing you want to do, left click, take the name, the call name after the / cancel. We want to go here and we want to take that name, subtract, hit OK. We want to right click, put it in for the hops, save ourselves writing an icon because we like words, and then let's change the instructions over to here and over to here to subtract and subtract, and that's okay. We've written another script. Now what I'd like you to do is remember what I just said, come back in here, you can stop the script from running, and I want you to try and get running all the other default components, the surface 4 point, the point at, and the ruled surface. And when you're done that, I'm going to actually go in here and write a complex component, and it should default in, and we can start writing that the next time we go. So I'm just going to hit save. I'm going to go here and hit file save, and this is going to be the master script as we go. Once again, I do like the clear down here so things look nice, and we're all ready to get into Python for data analysis when you come back. But before we do that, I want to do one more interesting script so you can show how you can start using some very powerful arrays instead of functioning in the Grasshopper window, which is very slow, and tucking in all your computation of number parameters into this type of program to start. You're going to realize incredible power to this when you start dealing in nth dimensional arrays instead of worrying about all your data trees in Grasshopper. I think that's it. I'm going to hit pause on our second video, and I'm going to upload these two and keep this series going. Stop recording.